Hello everyone and welcome to Thirsty Thursdays. So on Thirsty Thursdays on my Twitch channel, we brew a deck and then we play it through a league. So today I played two different leagues. In the first league I played a deck, Mono Black Zombies to be exact, and then after that I brewed up a deck and we played it on stream. So the way I brewed it up is that after every game, I would add one card to the deck. So then after all of the matches were done, we were really close to finishing up a deck. So this is what we came up with, and it was awesome. So as you can see, the deck is a little all over the place. That's what happens sometimes in a brew. You're just trying to test things out. You're trying to see where they're at. The main card for the deck that we started off with, the first edition, was Stoke the Flames. So as you can see right here, Stoke the Flames was a mainstay in standard entire duration. So Stoke the Flames, Convoke, Stoke the Flames deals 4 damage to any target. So Stoke the Flames, you're able to use your creatures to help pay for its mana cost. So if they're red, it can help pay for the red. So it is, in theory, you're able to cast the Stoke the Flames with just creatures as long as you have 2 red creatures and 2 creatures of any color. So the next cards we added, Monastery Mentor. Amazing card, 3 mana 2/2 prowess. So every time you cast a non-creature spell, it gets 1/1 until end of turn, and it makes a 1/1 monk with prowess. The next card we added, Young Pyromancer, 2 mana 2/1, just makes a 1/1 red elemental creature each time you cast an instance or sorcery. So it's a little different than Monastery Mentor, still very powerful. After that, we started adding cards all over the place to just see where the support was. We added Gideon, Ally of Zendikar, because it triggers Monastery Mentor and it makes tokens. We added Hordely Outburst because it makes 3/1/1 red goblins, so it helps with Stoke the Flames. We added Wild Slash because it's cheap, efficient removal. Soulscar Mage because it's able to remove creatures that are big because you put neg1 counters on them and so they die. So if you let's say you Wild Slash a 2/3, it'll be a 0/1 for the rest of the game. So it can have like a little bit of play in those areas. In terms of other token generators we have Legion's Landing, a 1 mana enchantment that makes a 1/1, and if we ever attack with 3 or more creatures, it flips and can start making us tokens. Another card that we added was Blister Coil Weird. This card may look innocuous. This card is amazing in this deck. Blister Coil Weird easily won us one of the games that you're going to see in a little later in the video. Blister Coil Weird, let's talk about it. So in our deck, it's 1 red for a 1/1, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, it gets 1/1 till end of turn. Untap it. Those last 2 words are the most important words for this deck. Blister Coil Weird, you're able to use it to help convoke Stoke the Flames, and then you're able to, when Stoke the Flames is cast, you get to untap it. So you use it to help you cast Stoke the Flames. It turns into a 2/2. You get to untap it, and it can help you cast more spells if you have another Stoke the Flames or other convoke spells, or you can start attacking with it. Some of the other cards we used as support, Chandra, Acolyte of Flame. It makes 1/1 haste elemental tokens, and that is why we tried 1 card today. It did not come off today, but it was Path of Metal. Path of Metal is a very interesting enchantment. Whenever Path of Metal enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each creature that isn't First Strike, Double Strike, Vigilance, or Haste. But if you attack with at least 2, it turns into a land that does some pretty cool things like dealing direct damage to your opponent or destroying a random creature that attacked you this turn. So it does have some really, really cool play in that sense. But like I said, there's only 1 card in the deck that can trigger it, and it was Chandra. It did not work. Embercleave was just a way to push through damage. It did win us some games. It also lost us some games where it was just awkward and stuck in our hand. And we decided to play 1 X spell, and it was Secure the Wastes. So Secure the Wastes, create X 1/1 white warrior creature tokens. The reason this is important is because it's instant speed. We can hold up mana for whatever we would like our opponent to do. We can do it on their end step, so we can dodge removal, and then we can get to go to our turn. In terms of lands, very, very stock lands, except for Castle Emberhearth. You can pay 3 mana, tap it, and it gets one. All your creatures get 1/0 until end of turn. Excellent for a token deck. I think this number needs to increase, but we'll talk about that later. In terms of sideboard, Wear and Tear, very efficient removal for a red-white deck. Devout Decree, excellent for red and black creatures. Rabble Master, you know, just it's another aggressive creature. It makes 1/1 tokens. It can do some cool things. Attacks for a lot. Brimaz, 3 mana, 3/4 vigilance, makes a token whenever it attacks or blocks, and that token also has vigilance. Searing Blood, 2 mana, 2 damage, instant speed, and if it dies, deal 3 damage directly to face. Soulfire Grandmaster, 2 mana, 2/2, lifelink, instants, and sorcery spells you have lifelink, and you can pay 4 mana and return that spell to your hand if it would resolve this turn. So, let's say you pay 4 mana and you cast Stoke the Flames with your creatures, you can then just return it back to your hand. Cast Out, 4 mana, flash. Oblivion Ring is probably what you guys mostly know. Oblivion Ring, instant speed, and it also cycles. Chandra, Torch of Defiance. It's just a planeswalker that is also a removal spell. It can give you added red mana, maybe if you have a Secure the Wastes. And then it also has like that tack on clause where if you ultimate it, you know, every spell you cast deals 5 damage. So that can be kind of cool. And then we have 1 Anointed Procession in the sideboard. If we really needed to worry about creating lots and lots and lots of tokens, this just creates double tokens. So now that we've gone through the deck, we are going to show games, and then you guys can be the judge on if this deck looks fun, or if you guys would brew this up yourselves, or any changes you would make. Please tell me and put it in the comments below. All right, so the first game I'm going to show right now was in round 3 against a green-white good stuff deck. So it's just playing the best creatures of the past 7 years. So we start off with a Blister Coil Weird. We're staring down the face of a Voice of Resurgence, and we draw a young Pyromancer, and this game quickly comes together. So we have double Stoke the Flames and the Chandra in hand. Oh, this is going to get pretty cool. But wait. We draw a Monastery Mentor. So we draw the key cards off the top of the deck. The core of the deck we now have in hand. We have Young Pyro, Monastery Mentor, and Stoke the Flames. Our opponent then casts Loxodon Smiter. This is when it gets weird. So we start doing math, and we realize that the Chandra Acolyte of Flame can make 2 tokens, and those tokens can help Pat cast both Stoke the Flames. And this Blister Coil Weird is also going to help us cast Stoke the Flames by tapping and untapping. So we tap Blister Coil Weird. We cast Stoke, it untaps all these things, but watch. It untaps. We now have enough tokens, including the Blister Coil Weird, to now kill the Loxodon Smiter, and my opponent concedes. This is the power of the deck. This is kind of the combo that we were hoping for, and it came off in this game in amazing fashion. So that is turn 4, my friends. Next game. This was a very tight game. Game 3 against Zombies We Mull. Or this isn't against Zombies, this is against Dredge. So my opponent is on Dredge, and it is the blue version. It is very good. We had a very tight game 1 and 2. We are now in game 3. My hand is not the best, but we are working through it slowly. And at first, I thought I was going to lose. My opponent was doing all sorts of really unfair things. He put a Haunted Dead into the graveyard, which makes lots of tokens. You know, you can do Prize Amalgam shenanigans with that. But then we draw Young Pyromancer into Young Pyromancer. And we now know that the game plan is to just go super wide. He's going wide, we're going wide. So right now we're just trying to figure out how wide we need to go. We're trying to be patient. We're not going to make the first move because we don't want to lose our tokens, because everything that he has wants to die and is also a 1/1. So we continue to work through this. We make a lot of tokens with Secure the Wastes. And then my opponent I do believe next turn does some pretty scary things. And as you'll see on the screen, Decimator of the Provinces, 7/7, trample, haste, big creature that is trying to kill us, and it gets all of his creatures 2/2 and trample until end of turn. He attacks all, but wait. This Boros charm can give my creatures indestructibility, and we're able to block, survive, and attack back for lethal because of the Ember Hearth the very next turn. So this game was so close, but this is the play of the deck. We're playing really good cards all together, and we get there. So we do the math, and by golly, we beat a 7/7 Eldrazi on the crackback. So some of the changes that we're going to make to the deck, so you guys, we're going to end the video with this. Some of the changes we're going to make to the deck: Path of Metal is not going to be there. Legion's Landing, probably not going to be there. Declaration Stone is an amazing card that is going to pull it together. Gideon, Ally of Zendikar, is oftentimes too slow. It's going to be moved to the sideboard. If you guys are interested in seeing this deck played tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., I'm going to be streaming this deck on Twitch, and you guys can come on out, hang out, and we can, talk about the changes, and, depending on how it goes, we might even play it for a second league. So feel free to drop a comment on any other changes you might make. And feel free to give the channel a subscribe, a like, a comment, anything you'd like to. And I appreciate it. Until next time, tschüss, later, a day.